We're on Shabbat, Parak Yud Gimel, Mishnah Vav. We're talking about trapping deer. Says the Mishnah, let's say the animal, the deer, entered the house, and the person locked it in, and prevented it from leaving. Okay? Then chayav, because locking it in the house, in an enclosed area, is considered trapping. Na'alu shnayim pturim. What if two people did the act? The pturim, the Bartanura says, tahabalu shnayim she'asuha, because it's as if two people did the malacha, and two people did each a half a malacha. But says the Mishnah, lo yachol echad lin'ol v'na'alu shnayim. If one person could do the job, if it's like a big door, I don't know, the door of the house was so big that two people had to close it, or it was a two-man job, v'na'alu shnayim, and they both did the action, chayavim. They're chayav. Rabbi Shimon poter. Rabbi Shimon says you're patur, because Rabbi Shimon says, nonetheless, even though it's a two-man job, each person is still doing only half the job. Whereas the Tanna Kama says each one is doing chol echad hamalacha. I just want to remind you that if we go back to Parak Yud, Mishnah Hey, we saw this exact example. I'm going to go a little faster so it'll go quicker. We saw this exact example when it came to loaves of bread, if you recall. Remember we talked about if you had taking a motzi kikar l'rishut rabim, hotziu shnayim pturim. If two people take a small loaf of bread, then they're patur. Lo yachol echad hotziu. Let's say it's a huge loaf of bread. Hotziu shnayim, and then two people took it because it's a two-man job. It's so heavy that only two people can do it. Chayavim. Again, the Tanna Kama says chayavim. And the same here, Rabbi Shimon poter. Rabbi Shimon says in this case, they're exempt. Why? Because remember, we said exactly the same thing. He holds that even if one person can't do it alone, if two people do it, then they're patur, because you're only chayav if you do a whole thing, not a half a thing. And that's exactly the same thing that we saw in our Mishnah as well, the same thing for trapping. And ostensibly, Rabbi Shimon and the Chachamim would have the same machlok regarding any malacha. If it's a two-man job and two people do it, Tanna Kama says you're chayav because they're doing the full thing in order to make a malacha. Rabbi Shimon says no, because you have to do the whole thing yourself. We'll stop here. We'll dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman, and you feel free to email me and share. Have a good day.